Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are live on Mindset Mondays. We're bringing it back to do a quick filler. Realized that my settings didn't work earlier. I'm going to keep that live. Such is fashion. In Cody fashion, we are in chaos. We try and calm it down though. I don't think there's too much worry in my chat. And how I speak. It is 10:50 on this beautiful Monday morning. How are we feeling? Good deal. Hello, hello. Woo. Let me update this real quick, because that's a lot going on, right, y'all? We're going to fix this screen to this one. Nope, wrong one. This one. There we go, much better. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. It is a good morning. We've been live on TikTok 2 times. We've got one more day and then we can add in some more. Let me check out this closer. 503.50 open, 503 1/4. Yeah, guys, I don't know. We're about 2 minutes away from a macro 10:50 to 11:10 macro. Maybe getting some type of silver bullet, but today has been kind of boring, if I'm going to be honest. We haven't done too much. Alright, what I just put on there was the opening range from today. Today's opening range. Look at all these bodies right here. And the wicks. Haven't been wanting to explore midnight. Right. At 5:40. So this is not an easy trading day. Not going to be an easy trading day. I've got 1 minute. Oh, 2 seconds. Okay. That immediate trade down, leaving flat top. I'd like to see it take these lows. Go back to mean thresh of this trading range. There it is. It's not going to leave that flat. So we're in first presented with a model 22. I want to see how this 1 minute closes. And yeah. Thanks for watching. So, Mindset Monday, we were talking earlier. I realized that I streamed with the wrong stream. Somehow there was some error. And here we are now back on the market. We're in the 10:50 macro we were going for this mess. Thanks for being in. Where are we from? Over here, I'm from East Texas. Checking out the markets in East Texas. Okay. I'm going to expand the 1 minute. There we go. Who knew? So, noting that the bodies respected the old high created from 9:30 to 10, the bodies were respecting and we're reaching for those positions, and then had this huge displacement to the downside, but the bodies closed in optimal trade entry. That's interesting. Now we're getting a return into first presented, and got an inside candle. Okay. It's looking pretty bearish. Let's see. That's a spike below the 15-minute sell side imbalance, but the body closed inside of that range or that inefficiency. So I want to note this could be a breakaway gap, especially since we have this happening here. This is a balanced price range. Got less than 30 seconds on the clock. Yeah. So 489 is the close and the open. We have a swing low. Potential return back into the first presented. What I don't want to see is this high being taken. That's just me. because then that brings us right back into high resistance conditions and deep retracements. Alright. I'd like to see these highs taken, maybe miss the first presented fair value gap, and then come down for this swing low. If it can keep this high intact, that would be good. Is that going to happen? I don't know. This is consequent encroachment of, or mean threshold of the 9:30 to 10 a.m. trading range, right? This is an intermediate high rebalanced. So here we go. We hit into the first presented, and if it takes this high, no, you don't want to see price retrace that much. When price retraces that much, you're seeing a completely high resistant, efficient market, and what you want to see is inefficient. Like, it created this inefficiency, let's create some more, right? But whenever it is overlapping like that, it makes it difficult for me and my eyes to want to engage. And so that holds me off. We're coming into the 11 o'clock key reversal, and this is an example of potentially I shut off my AC there, sorry. Now you can probably hear me better. Not leaving an inefficiency to the upside, so right back to balancing. There's a little baby one right there, so that could be institutional order flow entry. But the fact that it came up to the first presented and closed at the high and above consequent encroachment is pretty bullish to me. So, and keeping that market structure. Go ahead and give a subscribe, comment where you're from. It's chit chat. I'm an East Texas trader, trading by myself. I go live on TikTok and here pretty often. Started about a week ago, and I'm staying consistent, keeping myself live Monday through Friday. I started the venture and practicing back in April. And we're going to see where we go from here. So far, staying consistent and just watching the candles paint, man, learning it, practicing it, and growing every day. Keeping our mindset positive with high expectancies and for the future and not in the present. Thank y'all for being in the stream and liking. Appreciate the support. So there we go. Overlap in price action and really small range. You see 62 to this high, 27. 60 point, a little less than 60 point range. That is not very good conditions, but this is typical Monday. So we were at 11 a.m., 3 minutes in, and nothing. Oh, I spoke too soon. There it is. Some kind of displacement. Now, that flat top won't stay. There it goes. Tried to make a lower low. First 30 seconds. In the last minute of a 5-minute candle. Now, this is a very efficient 15-minute. Oh, I feel like I just got bit. By an ant or something. Okay. So far we're having a great morning. We're watching the market, reading it like a book, and working on our mindset while we're doing it. We're thinking, you know, this is a trashy market condition for my strategy, right? And it's not being presented. I like low resistance. And so, you know, I'm just working it through how to process that information with knowing what's being presented in front of me, right? And so we build experience through these moments, right? We get to see how this candle prints. We're seeing that retracement back into the optimal trade entry of the opening range. We're seeing that inside candle develop on the 15-minute and on the 5-minute, and that we're expanding up for previous swing highs, right? And we're building back into the first presented fair value gap and above the mean threshold of the 9:30 to 10 a.m. mean threshold trading range, right? That middle point. We closed inside, but at the upper quadrant, immediately open above, and then take the previous swing high and trade down to fill in the inefficiency here being created, Now we're going to monitor, do we touch that mean threshold? Do we go below it and then close below it? Or do we miss it completely? Okay, so we're in the second half of the 1 minute candle. So what you see is a pretty good buy-side imbalance. We took a high, created an inefficiency, but left relative equal lows. So there's a lot going on here. High, low, lower high, higher low, higher high. It's not quite an inside candle, is it? Close of 93.25, open of 93. So it is not necessarily an inside candle on the 15-minute. So we could come back down to this low, but we've already done that once, which is pre-market lows, right? So London made the high. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta go outside. Alright, we're back. How we doing? Thanks for supporting the live, man. We're just sitting here on what I call Mindset Monday. I'm working on my mindset of being in front of the charts and working on one of my things, fear of missing out, FOMO. Right? There hasn't been much of it this morning, to be honest. It's kind of boring. And so I'm labeling this as a day of I have learned on why I don't want to trade on a Monday. Let Monday work itself out. Peg this as some BS going on. And tight ranges. I mean, we're talking less than 60 points, I think. So chopped up to nothing I want to mess with. Control, shift. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Such a tight trading range. It's too... I mean, yeah, I can see it going for that 60, but look at that. That's 60, 70, 80. All right. Last 1 minute on the 15, 5, and of course, the 1. All right. New 15-minute coming up, 5-minute coming up. We had a good closure below first percentage. Take a previous swing high, leaving an efficiency, maybe. We shall see. Closes at 490.75, open 490.75. So we do have a potential inside candle, but no inefficiency. So that's balanced yet again with a higher high to the right there. Very tight range. All right, got about 14 or 13 and a half minutes until I close the charts. And with the conditions of the summer, wouldn't surprise me that these are run again. It already made this higher high here, failed to make a lower low. I mean, that's... Okay. So this was left intact. This could be a nice little break. 𝗧𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗁. Damn, she gonna leave without me. I was hoping to get in at 87 if it wanted to. Okay. Well, you miss out on every opportunity you don't take. And now we're at the last 1 minute. So it's like a do or die. Are we going for that 62? We're 10 points away. I could see it going down there. We're just on the last 1 minute, and there you go. Okay. Again, you missed every opportunity that you don't take, which I'm not mad about, right? This is what Mindset Monday's about. I had an entry, and just didn't take it, and that's okay. Much to be revealed, right? It's very, very seek and destroy. It's expanding finally, but I need to move my mouse. Okay, and Q is approaching a gap closure, and there you go. So that's a key level right there, and it hadn't hit until just then. This gap finally got closed, and you want to note the time. It's 11:20. Okay, so that 11:20 expansion got to that low. Okay, and note that it's 11:20, but the time over here is showing that at 11:21. So that is not 11:21, that is 11:20. We're at 11:21 now. Okay, so we're rebalancing. Excuse me. Well, I'm going to write in my journal for a second, if that's alright with you. Got my journal read it up, explaining this process. I might read it just so y'all hear it. Very high resistance, 7 a.m. low, formed. 8 a.m. failed to make a lower low. 9 a.m. ran both 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. highs. Immediately reverses, taking out the sell side liquidity. 9:30 open creates the low of the session. Immediately, where am I? After those lows were run, 10:10 swing high that took 9 a.m. low, 9 a.m. high, but the body's closed, open below with wicks above, reversed again for the sell side, 9:30 a.m. low, and filled in the new week opening gap. With, I guess now it's more range, but the 9:30 to 10 range was only 60 points. And basically just hovered around the 8:30 open and failed to go to midnight. I want to put that in my journal. Hold up a minute. Also, if you're watching, feel free to like the page, subscribe. I come live every day. I'm an East Texas solo trader. I've been trading a couple years now. And yeah, not taking a trade today. We got 1 minute left, I guess. So if you're wanting to see a trade, you're not gonna from me, but probably tomorrow. So far, it's been trash. 𝗪𝗲𝗿𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗔. That is just crazy. Overlapping price action. That's what I'm going to write at the top. That way in the future I can remember what I'm talking about easier, because I mean, you just see recent swing lows. The heaviness is on these down close for this low. Any run on the highs have been pretty weak so far. Now this is different, but we're now in a time where nothing's on the table. I can't. It's lunchtime, right? My stomach is growling, and those are my rules. So anyway, I would note that as institutional order flow to go for the highs because of the conditions we're in, but that is not what I want to see. I love to see low resistance, just flush it down and keep it going. But you don't get that every day, so especially in the summer. But we are in a week of non-farm payroll, so let me check out the news. What's the news? Tomorrow. JOLTS jobs. So there's going to be some volatility coming in. Yep. I need to head off the stream. We're 6 minutes over my time, and I'm just working on my journal entry for today, reflecting on where I was looking at an entrance, and I want to say it was somewhere right at this drop right? I was talking about the 97, I want to say, or something like that. Gonna have to look back. But yeah, I remember, I want to say it was 97 that I wanted it to go try to get up into that, and let's see, yeah, it must have been 97, and it did not, but it did provide this, I guess, fake out that it was going to lift off. It just reversed and went to the floor, and that would be a pretty good 59-point drop with very limited resistance. So I'm gonna have to look back at my stream here in a second so I can finish up my journal. Before I do that, I do want to just hop on over to Mindset Monday just to reflect on what we're trying to do and accomplish here. So let me expand it. There it is. Okay, Mindset Monday. 10 habits for trading with clarity and confidence. This is something that I am trying to subscribe to and live by. Let me get this one out of the way. And this one. There we go. So Mindset Monday is all about reminding myself of these 10 habits. Being thankful that I'm allowed to do this every day when I want and when I do not want to. And I think about this before I even open my screens and charts. Habit 2, accept the uncertainty as the game. You do not determine the outcome. Okay? You accept the risk. Detach. Habit 3, detach from the need to be right. You can be on the wrong side and still be profitable. And you need to detach from being right. You don't hold on for more just because you think it's owed to you, if that makes sense. Habit number 4, predefine risk, accept it fully. Create yourself an ATM strategy and stick to it. And don't risk more than you need to. There's a really good book suggested by 𝗖𝗍, How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill. And it goes and breaks down how to apply these principles that I'm talking about. Okay, habit 5, build a repeatable routine. And that is as far as the charts, as far as how you bring yourself into the charts, where you start going from the higher time frame down, and if you engage in the market, how you're holding yourself accountable for when you leave the market, when you write yourself in your journal, right? And then at the end, do we tell ourselves something at the end, right? Do you have a routine for your trading? Do you work out before, right? That's a big one. Taking a cold shower, some people's, I'm not doing that. Okay, find yourself a routine. Train calm under pressure. Every day's got to be the same, and you don't want too high of emotions, right? And you want to find how to, you need to stay calm, and breathing is such a good one for that. Okay, and then habit 7, focus on process over outcome. Your process is your edge. Your process is what you do in order to engage in the marketplace. So focus on that process over outcome. You've got to build a solid foundation. And habit 8, journal emotional triggers. That was what I was talking about, trying to find repeatable systems and keeping calm. Journaling how you do that and keeping track of your emotional triggers, such as FOMO, right? Wanting to chase price. There's habits that come up and you can continue to repeat them, and it's important that you know what that is for you. Once you do that, you unlock a huge power. Okay? Habit 9, visualize your ideal trading self. And I have a statement that I write, okay, on my whiteboard. I am consistently professional. And I visualize that self every day. I visualize my best self every day, and I strive to hold myself accountable that I am a consistently professional. I am consistently professional. I was like, wait, that grammar wasn't right. So I visualize that for myself and try to hold myself accountable to maintain that. Okay? And then the last habit is to do it again. Reset weekly with intention. You have to be in an emotional attachment to holding yourself accountable to these steps and habits. Once you get used to it and build a habit, they say it takes about 20 days for it to kick in. And for me, I can do that, right? And you can too. I've done it. And I love this system, and it's helped me out. We're utilizing the resources of Rande Howell, 𝗖𝗍, which I'm trying to think of his last name. I can't right now. But 𝗖𝗍, Inner Circle Trader. Mark Douglas, reading the book. Trading in the Zone, and a Residual Earners podcast, right? So all these is a combination of what I've brought together to remind myself of how I want to be the best to come forward for myself, right? You can't do it for anyone else. You have to work on it for yourself, and that's what we're doing here. So I appreciate you watching. If you did get to this point, I'm going to continue going live. Tomorrow we're going to do Take Read It Tuesday, which again today was a little bit of that, and mostly just a workshop on myself, by myself, right? And you get to see that process, and so understand that that's personal, but at least you got to see it. So thanks for watching if you did, and hopefully you learned something. I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe.